To call me switching to a vegetarian diet a journey feels a little misleading. It happened overnight, really, even though there was a long period of thought leading up to it. It was about this time 2 years ago when I started reflecting on my own self-declared pacifism. If I'm as adamant about not hurting things as I am, then why am I okay with eating them? It especially resonated with me since I've sort of been a sucker for animals my whole life. As a kid, I kind of thought I was going to have this special license that let me own a zoo on my own property, because I'd apparently be the richest man on the planet. Anyway, one day, scrolling through a now defunct social media of mine, I happened across a picture of a pig hiding behind a tree. Not your usual pot-bellied cute as a button pig either, a literal 600-pound hog that could kill me by falling on top of me. Obviously, it was love at first sight. I looked up this pig, her name is Esther, and found her on several social media accounts, so I followed her on all of them. At this time, it was just for the cute pig, but I'd later realized the owners of this pig, her dads, Steve and Derek, were adamant veganism advocates. Since I was already thinking about vegetarianism, this sprung my interest. At first, I respected their views while maybe not really listening to them, but it didn't take long. Soon, every pepperoni I ate could have been Esther, and every Thanksgiving meal could have been her turkey brother Corno. So after long enough, I broke. I gave up pork. It wasn't easy. The plan was always to go down the list of meats until I had given everyone up, but eventually I found myself answering the same question at every meal. Why pork? Why are pigs so special? Really, the answer was they're not. I'm just starting with them. But after long enough, I finally decided to go all in. Overnight, I gave up on all meat. It's been a year since then, not counting the one time Domino's snuck bacon into my cheese bread. But after going vegetarian, I got a lot of praise because it was the healthier lifestyle. But I don't know that that's necessarily true. My diet was atrocious the first month or two. Primarily cheese pizza, chips and queso, cheese fries, really just a lot of cheese and potatoes. In fact, when my dad would brag about me being a vegetarian, because that's kind of just what my parents do, he'd always be sure to include his little zinger about how he can't call me a vegetarian because I don't eat vegetables. And yes, it's true. I had the diet of a toddler and ew, salad bad, pizza good. I've changed since then, don't worry. A lot of people think they can't be vegetarians because they don't like foods without meat. But a lot of them don't realize how far fake meat has come. I haven't eaten real bacon since the Domino's incident. Yet I don't feel that way, because Morningstar's plant-based bacon tastes literally amazing. And so do their sausages. Their burgers, But Impossible and Beyond burgers are really good, and they're only getting better with time. Chicken is not a perfect science yet, but I'm experimenting with recipes for Morningstar's meatless buffalo wings right now, and it's like eating chicken nuggets for the first time in a year. And I didn't even like chicken nuggets when I did eat meat. The hot dogs, though, don't eat the hot dogs. I taught myself to cook, essentially. Both these meat supplements and other things like potato soup, spaghetti, real easy stuff. I'm not a chef, but I don't have to be to know how to heat up lo mein or make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So another problem came with how hard it was to take me anywhere out, since most places like Burger King, Taco Bell, Bojangles, or McDonald's aren't exactly vegetarian friendly. So that's why I'm lucky to have switched in a time when meat-free options couldn't be more popular. White Castle, Qdoba, Red Robin, Showmars, Little Caesars, even Burger King are offering menu options with meat-free supplements. Dunwell's and Flying Biscuit Cafe are two places in my hometown alone that are locally owned yet serve Impossible or Beyond burgers. So that just left one more big obstacle. Why bother? I understand this question. I don't expect everyone to care as much about animals as me, since a lot of people see them as, well, just animals, expendable, and that's not their fault. But look beyond the ethical implications, whether or not they align with your personal values or not, and there are still plenty of reasons. For example, many places around the United States are placing a ban on plastic straws because they want to help clean up the oceans. But did you know that straws only make up 0.025% of ocean garbage, and that 45% of that garbage is lost gear from fishing? Look, okay, shrimp is good and all, I get it, but don't tell me you couldn't live without seafood. So what about for your own health? Red meats are proven to increase the chances of heart diseases triple-fold. And maybe you're here for a good time, not a long time, I get that. But animal agriculture is universally agreed to be not sustainable, requiring far more resources to produce than a meat-free diet. The world has a lot of starving people, and the population is expected to increase by 70% in the upcoming decades. So how are we going to feed everyone? Finally, climate change. Animal agriculture is responsible for 13% to almost 20% of carbon emissions in the atmosphere. Okay, yeah, it's not the single-handedly responsible problem. And maybe you believe that you converting to vegetarianism alone won't change anything. That same argument applies to voting too, I guess. And again, I get that. I used to be really self-awarely selfish about wanting the world to outlive me, but not really caring what happens after. But I have a baby nephew now, and tell me you want him to grow up in a world ruined by climate change. Anyway, just consider it. If the world does make a turnaround, wouldn't it be nice to be able to pat yourself on the back for it? I'm not really expecting to change anyone's mind with this argument, and the last thing I want is for anyone to feel bad for eating meat. A lot of us were raised on it, and it's not anyone's fault. But the next time you're looking at a menu, even if you think about ordering a salad or a Beyond Burger instead, I'll somehow detect it through spider sense or the Force or something, and I'll be happy about it. And if that day comes, thank you.